Here's a hidden function of a utility knife that you probably didn't know about. A utility knife has way more uses than I initially thought. Today, I want to show you two functions that I think are worth your attention. They make work faster and safer. First, a regular utility knife can make working with wires much easier. You've probably always cut the wires and tried to strip the insulation with the flat side of the blade. That's a mistake. Look at this. On the other side of the knife, there's a rounded notch. You can use this notch to strip the insulation off wires. Just place the notch in the cut area and gently slide it to remove the insulation perfectly. Second, see how safely you can remove the blade tip when it gets dull. Don't try to snap it off with your fingers, as you might cut yourself. Also, don't break it against different objects, as it might shatter and cause injury. The proper way to snap off the blade is much easier than you think. At the end of the knife, there's a special plastic piece for this purpose. Just remove it, place it on the dull blade segment, and press. The blade tip will break off effortlessly. I hope you find these tricks useful and start using them in your work. Discover the secrets of the toilet brush that you probably didn't know about. Unscrew the brush and pour some liquid into it. By cleaning the toilet, you'll immediately have a brush with a liquid that will clean the inside of the toilet bowl. But that's not the only hidden function of such a brush. There's also a brilliant reason why it's worth using such a brush to scrub the floors in the bathroom. Such a brush is perfect for this purpose. We're not talking about the toilet brush you use every day. We only use that brush for cleaning the toilet. But there's a reason why it's worth having a second brush, a new one. Such a brush with stiff bristles has another good use. Prepare a container and pour baking soda into it. Add a small amount of water. Mix the baking soda with water to create a paste. Baking soda is a slightly abrasive substance. It cleans stains, gently whitens, kills mold, and absorbs moisture. Dip the new toilet brush into the baking soda solution, apply it to the tiles, focusing on the grout lines. Begin gently scrubbing them. The baking soda will slowly start to work, dissolving dirt, stains, and killing mold if it's on the grout lines. The brush with such stiff bristles will perfectly remove all that dirt. Leave the soda on the grout lines for some time, then wipe the tiles with a cloth. After they dry, you'll notice the difference between the grout lines. You clean it with soda and the rest. You can see the difference for yourself. You can see which grout lines were dirty before cleaning and which ones are now clean. And it's all thanks to baking soda and the toilet brush. Put a sponge in the fridge. You'll be surprised by what will happen. You'll definitely want to brag to your friends about this trick. This trick is very simple and cheap, and it will help you with a problem that often occurs in fridges. But first, ask yourself, when was the last time you checked the products you keep in it? Some of them simply need to be thrown away. They can make the fridge smell bad. Take a look inside your fridge. Do you also have water droplets on the shelves or on the back wall of the fridge? If products stick to such a moist back wall, ice can form on them. And standing water on the shelves, if you don't notice it, starts to smell bad. There are two ways to prevent this. You can handle it with a regular dishwashing sponge, but don't worry. It's not about cleaning the fridge with it at all. Take one sponge and cut it under the rough surface. Make a small hole with a knife or scissors. Pour salt inside. Now place such a sponge on the shelf in the fridge. The sponge will absorb moisture from the shelves. Salt also absorbs moisture. So it's a simple and cheap fridge dehumidifier. The second method is to use another product. Sprinkle baking soda on the sponge and place it in the fridge, preferably in the bottom drawer. The sponge will absorb moisture, and the soda will additionally absorb unpleasant odors. If your fridge smells strange even after cleaning and washing it, try these simple and cheap tricks. You'll be surprised by the result, like my mother-in-law. Place a candle near the bananas. They'll stay fresh longer. If you've bought a larger quantity of bananas, they often spoil too quickly, especially if you've bought a bunch of bananas but only want to eat one. This fruit is rich in potassium. It helps the body maintain a healthy heart and normal blood pressure. But bananas are one of those fruits that seem perfectly ripe one second and halfway rotten the next. So if you've noticed that your bananas are browning too quickly, it may be due to how they're stored. There's a simple way to extend their freshness. Do you happen to have a white candle at home? Just a regular candle? I'm not talking about scented candles. Plain ones will be more useful. All you need to do is light it. And wait. Place the candle next to the bananas. Wait until the wax on the candle melts. Then take the candle and place it over the bananas. Tilt it. Let the wax drip onto the bananas. Spread it on the banana stem. Just be careful not to burn yourself. You'll be surprised how well this trick works. This method will extend the lifespan of your bananas, allowing you to enjoy them for longer. Add egg yolks to Coca-Cola, and you definitely won't regret it. It's amazing. Add 2 egg yolks to a bottle of Coke. You'll see this is an extraordinary trick. Seal the bottle and gently shake it. The Coca-Cola with the yolks will start to change color. Due to the foam and yolks, it will turn a light brown. Before opening it, prepare a blender. There's already some Coke in the blender that I poured out earlier. I have a half-liter bottle of Coca-Cola. Carefully unscrew the cap to let the gas escape slowly. Once it's loosened, pour the contents into the blender. Add a large spoonful of soft butter to the Coke and yolks. Close the blender and mix the butter with the Coke and yolks. Then, add 1½ cups of flour. Add a cup of cocoa powder as well. Close the blender again and mix for 2 minutes. You can use regular cocoa or sweetened cocoa powder. Finally, add a tablespoon of baking powder. Grease a baking pan and dust it with cocoa powder. Pour the Coca-Cola batter into the pan. Preheat the oven to 185 degrees Celsius and bake for 20 minutes. It bakes quickly and always turns out great. After baking, just turn it out onto a plate, slice it, and enjoy. Bon appétit! Take a banknote and perform this test. Thanks to it, you will save a fortune on bills. The refrigerator doors are used every day. The condition of the seals affects their lifespan. If the refrigerator is noisy or frost appears inside, it may be a sign that it's time for the banknote test. Over time, rubber seals become stiffer and may not adhere properly to the refrigerator wall. This allows warm air to constantly flow into the interior, and the refrigerator works non-stop to cool the continuously entering air. To check, just perform a simple trick. Take a banknote and insert it between the refrigerator wall and the door. Then, close the refrigerator. Now try to take it out. If you can remove it without any resistance, the seal is not adhering properly. This method allows you to check the entire seal. If the rubber strip of the seal is tight, the banknote will offer resistance. There is another way to save the seal and make it adhere better to the refrigerator. If the seal has no visible defects or damage, try this trick. Use cosmetic Vaseline. Apply Vaseline to the clean and dry seal. This popular cosmetic will restore the flexibility of the seal, and it will adhere properly to the refrigerator. Spread the Vaseline evenly and precisely along the entire length of the rubber. You will definitely feel the difference the next time you try to open the refrigerator. Are your electricity bills high? Let us know in the comments what you do to reduce them.